Welcome. My name's Luke Smith, and I'm passionate about figuring out ways to make real estate dance. Today, let's talk about Dave's Hot Chicken and how Dave's Hot Chicken's brand can make real estate dance. Let's jump into it. I was studying Dave's Hot Chicken because I see it growing, I see it happen, and I want to know what they're up to. I've been looking at them, and I see that they have average store sales of $2.2 million. I look at other chicken selling fast food restaurants. At the bottom of the bigger names, I see Church's Chicken doing about $900,000 a year. I see them shedding locations all over the place and not growing as much. And I look at the top of the pile and I see Chick-fil-A, over $6 million sales a year. I see them eating up real estate and taking on better locations, increasing the ones that they have, just pedal to the metal all the way across the board, right? When you look at how much sales these shops are doing and you look at how fast they're growing, it seems to line up. It seems to follow through with a bit of how this brand is happening, and it helps you project their trajectory going forward. I started looking at this some more, and I love seeing these Dave's Hot Chickens happen, and so I've been mapping them out. In the news articles about them, they talk about store number 200 opening in early 2024. They were targeting store number 300, and by the end of 2024, I'm not sure if they made it or not. We're in 2025 now when I'm making this video. They're probably over that 300 mark. I could find 180 locations with statistics and data and numbers and information about them. And so looking at the 180 that I could get statistics on and information, they're growing fast. It's hard to get them all, but the ones that I could get is what we're talking about today. I started jumping into the markets too. I love looking at markets. I love looking at what's for sale. And when we look at a brand name like Dave's Hot Chicken and we see which ones are for sale on the market, we can get a better view into what kind of information is happening in those deals that they're doing. We can look at the timelines, we can look at the prices, we can look at all kinds of numbers. So I'm just highlighting one number out of the 3 deals that I could find on the market today. And that number is the annual rent. I found this one store in South Carolina that is just converted from another shop into a Dave's Hot Chicken, and they're charging $150,000 of rent a year. This one in Pennsylvania is bulldozed. I think they bulldozed a tire store, a brake store, something like that. And they built a brand new shop, and they're charging $145,000 rent for that one. And then there's one in Connecticut. They built this multi-unit. It's a Starbucks and a Dave's Hot Chicken. The Starbucks looks like they have the drive-through. Dave's has the drive up and take out, and order on your phone and drive up, and maybe they bring it out to your car or something kind of style. And they're paying $204,000 a year in rent. That's a big one. That's a big number to pay for a fast food restaurant. I like these numbers, 145, 150. It's a lot easier to go do. I figure you could probably get that on other locations going forward. If they're doing it in these other ones, you could look at all kinds of statistics and numbers and data of the locations that they're pulling it off on and find other locations that fit those bills. Say, Dave's Hot Chicken, got another location for you. Let's get you in here. I'll make it happen. Okay, so this one that was just converted in the link in the list before, this South Carolina one in Rock Hill, South Carolina, was a Jasmine Grill, Mediterranean food. I'm thinking like kebabs and pita bread and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I've never eaten at that one. I don't know it. I've never heard of it before. It's probably that kind of credit rating. They probably don't have that many of them. Correct me if I'm wrong. Throw some comments in the comment section of this video. But I've heard of Dave's Hot Chicken, and I found 180 of them we got statistics on, and they're doing some good sales. They're doing the $2.2 million sales a year. What is Jasmine Grill doing? I don't know. They're out of business. Obviously not enough to keep up and keep going. So they converted this Jasmine Grill to Dave's Hot Chicken, and I bet you the rent that they got went up. I bet you the value of the shop went up, and somebody made money on figuring out that they could convert this thing from Jasmine Grill into Dave's Hot Chicken. The real estate people probably made money, and the operators probably made money. Everybody involved, the brokers, everybody probably made money on this deal. It's better for everybody except for maybe the Jasmine people that went out of business and moved on. It's a win-win all the way around kind of deal. I like those kinds of real estate deals. You can see how they made the deck bigger, better. They kept the same awning. They got the same hookups, the same shape. They didn't even change the fascia. They just changed the color, and they made a better patio. It looks like they took out this curb and they put a pedestrian walkway to make it easier to get in and out of there. Maybe it's wheelchair accessible. I'm not sure. So then I looked up the top locations, and I was wondering, are other locations of Dave's Hot Chicken more of bulldoze and build, or are they converting old restaurants? And it's a mixture. They're doing both. The number one location that I could find in the stack of Dave's Hot Chickens was on Fletcher Parkway in El Cajon, California. Fletcher Parkway is a good long road, and kind of up that road a bit, there's a grocery store that I used to go to when I was in college in the area. I used to shop there for groceries. I could get fruits and vegetables really cheap at this ethnic grocery store. I used to drive 45 minutes to get to that specific store because it was that much cheaper. They had great feta cheese and all kinds of stuff in there that's not the normal at the other grocery stores. I thought was fun. It's that kind of neighborhood. You got all kinds of foods to choose from that are better flavor, more creative than your classic names. They had a Subway here once upon a time. They had the Dunkin' Donuts, and they converted the Subway. You can see the same rounded front of the building, the same, I think, church steeple in the background happening, the same parking lot, the same telephone poles. I didn't line them up as good as I should have, but you get the idea. They turned it from a Subway into a Dave's Hot Chicken. And just like that other slide in the past where we had the different, how much average unit sales that people could get out of a lower chicken selling store to a higher chicken selling store, you could go from selling chicken under one brand to selling chicken under a different brand and get that much more sales out of the same shop. You could do it even more by going from sandwiches to chicken. Take a look at this one. Subway has been the king of sandwiches, but they're really low average unit sales. The last couple of years, a bigger company bought out Subway and they started fixing it and increasing it. They've got the average unit sales up to $490,000 in 2024. That's the highest they've ever been in the history of Subway. $490,000 a year average unit sales. That's still nothing compared to $2.2 million you could get out of a Dave's Hot Chicken. And reading different articles and information about Dave's Hot Chicken, generally a 2 years after the Dave's Hot Chickens open and people get to know it and they start coming back, that 2.2 million is more like over $3 million. So just imagine that. How much rent could you charge a shop that's selling $3 million versus a shop that's selling just under $500,000? You can charge a lot more rent and they can afford to pay it and everybody wins. That's a value add, and it increases the value of your real estate and it makes real estate dance. That's how you can use Dave's Hot Chicken's brand name to make real estate dance. And it could be your real estate or it could be somebody else's real estate. You could find real estate that this bill fits and start doing deals with them. If you're interested in those kinds of deals that get the value of the real estate to dance, check out my community. It's free. I got a link down below. The more you learn about these kinds of deals, the better chances you have of pulling these kinds of deals off. I work with multiple different people on these kinds of deals. I love figuring out these kinds of deals and making them happen. Please hit the link and join me in the party of doing that going forward. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This is Luke Smith, and see you in the next one.